subscribe to the Donnie Houston podcast, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you everybody for coming out tonight. It is my honor and privilege to first and foremost introduce to you your host for this evening. I'm going to call and dub this young man the king of social media right now. Put your hands together for Mr. Donnie Houston. What's up, what's up, what's up? And of course, a man that needs no introduction, but we all know him from PA to the H and worldwide. Make some noise for the trill one himself, Bun B. Give it up.
Good evening, everybody. Thank y'all for joining us on this beautiful evening where we just get to love on each other and celebrate ourselves. You know, we were sitting around and wondering, like, when they gonna call Houston? When they gonna invite us to the table? When they gonna acknowledge us? And we just got tired of waiting, like Houston always had to do, and we did it our goddamn self. You know what I'm saying? And this room is full of people. Almost every person in this room has in one way or another contributed to Houston's hip hop culture, music, promotion, marketing, distribution, and just help put this city on the map. And for that, we thank all of y'all, individually as well as collectively. But we're gonna let Houston tell its story tonight itself. So you're gonna get to hear it literally from the horse's mouth. The people who built this culture, the foundation of Houston hip hop culture, and the people that helped lay some bricks on this thing. So we hope to have a really good conversation tonight, Donnie.
Cool. Before we get started, though, can we bring up the mayor? Can we get a round of applause for the current mayor of Houston, Mr. Sylvester Turner?
He came up the G-way.
Look, I was waiting for the panel. Hell, I didn't think you were going to bring me up this early. But look, I had to come by and recognize what has been accomplished with hip-hop over the last 50 years. It started, of course, in the Bronx, 2 turntables and a microphone. But it didn't stay in the Bronx because it gravitated right down here to H-Town. And we've had some tremendous artists and still have tremendous artists when it comes to hip hop. And so we always take the time to remember folk, DJ Screw, Fat Pat, Big Mello, Mr. 3-2, Big Pokey, and the list goes on and on and on. And when you got folk from all over the city, artists that have come out of Acres Home, the North Side, the Fofo, you know, things have made a difference. But one thing about hip hop, may have started in the Bronx, Houston, but it's had an impact all over the world and has pushed the boundaries. But there's no greater talent, I believe, than the talent right here in H-Town. So I want to thank you all for highlighting H-Town. And in one of my final acts as mayor, you know, I wanted to come by to recognize that and put an official stamp on it from my perspective being the mayor of the city of Houston. And I'm not going to read it all in full because it talks about how we've had the rap battles at Rhinestone. Y'all don't remember that, do you? I'm a little bit older than you. But those battles, it talks about how Rap-A-Lot music and the Ghetto Boys. It talks about Swisher House and G-Dash. It talks about the Bum B's and the Paul Walls and the Slim Thugs and all of that, you name it, it has existed right here in the city of Houston. No greater talent than you'll find in H-Town. So I have the privilege, as a mayor of the city of Houston, to say, therefore I, Sylvester Turner, mayor of the great city of Houston, hereby proclaim this day, December 13th, 2023, as Houston Hip Hop Day in the city of Houston, right here in H-Town. Hey, look, thank you all for what you do, because it's what you do that has helped to put H-Town on the map. And I don't care what anyone says, you have to respect, appreciate, and recognize hip-hop in H-Town.
Thank you, man. Y'all give it up for our wonderful mayor, Mayor Turner. It's been an honor working with you, Mayor, over these 3 terms, man, and we're going to miss you at City Hall. Your legacy is cemented in the city of Houston, and we thank you.
Can't do that. Now my term ends, and they asked me what I was going to do afterwards. I came here to be recognized, and you know, I think I got some hip hop in me. And you know, can't you use a brother like me? You know? All right, let me go.
Y'all give it up for Mayor Sylvester Turner, y'all.
Okay, all right, y'all. Now we're gonna get started. We're gonna get started.
Okay.
Because we're already a little late. But thank you again, Mayor Sylvester Turner. All right, Brian. What you say?
Yeah, let's get, yeah, I guess we're sitting here, right? We knew it is, y'all. First of all, give it up for our DJ for the evening, Def Jam Blaster. Walking us through Houston hip-hop early days right now, and that's where this panel's going to start. We're going to start off in the 80s. That's where hip-hop in Houston started. Donnie, can we call our first panelist to the stage, sir?
Let's do it. It starts with Steve Fournier. Y'all give it up for Steve Fournier. Of course. Yeah, you see, yeah, whatever.
Any seat you want.
Yeah. Okay. Rap A Lot Records, Jay Prince. Jay Prince in the building.
He's coming. I think he's
All right, cool. Darryl Scott, DJ Darryl Scott. We got the first woman in hip hop, Choice. Choice is in the building.
Come on up, Choice. The first lady of Houston hip hop, recognized, y'all.
Captain Jack, where you at, Captain Jack? Willie D. Willie D is in the building. And last but definitely not least, K-Rino. K-Rino, where you at?
You took Steve's seat. No, it's some second row with it.
Man, yeah. I know. Cool, man. Cool. Go ahead. I'm gonna make it do what it do, baby.
Come on. Last but not least, there you go, Mr. Prince. Mr. J. Prince, come on. Face Choice will be up shortly in another
Choice in that Choice. What's up, Choice?
See what I say? This is a family reunion here tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Jack.
We tried to open up seats, just so people know, we tried to open up seats for the general public, but so many people in Houston that have been a part of this culture, the VIP list turned into general admission. So there are some people in here who were able to catch some RSVPs. Y'all are some of the luckiest people in Houston right now. So I guess we'll start this story where it starts.
Hold on, Bun. Brad, get your ass up here, man.
Hey, man,
No, he right there. That's him right there.
Red will get here when it's his time. We put this together.
No, man.
Come up here, Face.
Get on up here.
No, Willie, when you put your panel together, you can say who come up here. Don't start that.
He's supposed to be up here.
We were talking to different people about different things at certain times. Willie, everybody can't talk in the first
Yeah,
panel.
you right. Bum be right.
He started at the same time.
Bum be right. Bum be right.
All right, well, Willie, don't come here trying to run my shit. You got your own podcast. You run your podcast.
But he started at the same time.
Bum be right.
It's a paper here. We have a plan. We have an idea how we want this to run. You up here. Why you worried about everybody else? You up here.
Man, I'm worried about everybody else because everybody else worried about me.
No, they weren't worried about you.
How you know that?
Because nobody said nothing about
But
you.
how you know that?
I'm telling you because I talked to
All
everybody.
right, come on,
like
man.
I
It's your
talked to
show.
you.
Go ahead and do it like you want.
Welcome to hip hop.
Yeah, that's right.
But I do want to start this way it starts. So one of the first songs ever created in Houston's hip hop was done by Rap-A-Lot Records with Jay Prince. Jay, can you talk about what it was that made you actually want to put some money down and spend some time and start hip hop in Houston?
Oh, yeah. Nah, let me think about what was that first song. Was that you, Captain Jack? Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. Captain Jack was one of the first songs I done in hip hop. And
Face, you can come on in now. You might as well come on in now.
yeah, when I think about my reason for doing it, I was trying to get paid, man. I was trying to make it out the hood, break the poverty curse that, you know, me and my family was in bondage in for all those years. I felt like at the time that hip hop would be the new dope game. Yeah, just to be blatantly honest about it. You know what I mean? I saw it as a new way of making it that was legal. You know what I mean? So that's where all the inspiration came from.
So when you're making this record with Rap-A-Lot Records and Captain Jack is making his music, eventually this music got to get to the people, right? Somebody's got to start playing this music in the clubs and promoting this music in the club. One of the first people to do that is this gentleman right here on the far left in the front, Steve Fournier. Steve, can you talk about what it was like being a club promoter, hearing hip hop, and like, I need to start playing this, Houston needs to hear this and be a part of it?
Yes. First of all, I'd like to say that thank God that I'm here, blessed to be here with everybody. And I've seen some people I ain't seen in years. This feels great. 1979, let's do that. 1979. There was a club on the north side called Struts. It was one of the biggest black clubs in the city. And all we could play was funk and R&B because that's all that was out, was funk and R&B. Van Mason, Jimmy Bohorn, Parliament, all that. And then about a year went by and the club was just still being packed. And I met a lot of record promoters from all over the country that would come through the club, bring me their music. They hooked me up with DJ Red Alert in New York. And DJ Red Alert put a little special package together for me. He sent me 3 records, Test Press records, another record, and another record. There was 3 of them. And Rap-A-Lot was one. And I mean, you got me on my brain here. it's emotional because it was a passion with me. When I heard this first record, I knew this is what I was going to do for 26 years of my life. This is what I was going to do. Like Prime Time said, he had a call. I had a call. This was my music. The first record that was ever played in Texas, in Houston, at any club, any rap, over any speakers, was T-Ski, Catch a Beat. That was the first rap record played in Houston, Texas. And that later on that year, to bring more rap to the city, I said, well, what can I do? What can I do to bring some more rap to the city and get more people interested in it? Because everybody, the radio damn sure wasn't playing it. The record stores didn't even know what rap was. No one had no idea, but I heard this music. And I said, this is what I'm going to do. And later on that year, we brought the first rap concert to Houston, Texas. The first rap concert ever in the city, or in the state, or in the South. In 1980, we brought Curtis Blow to Struts. That was the first rap artist ever to play in this city.
Nice.
And that just gives you a little history of how far. I mean, there's a lot more, but I know we got time limit.
Right.
But Curtis Blow and the reaction to the people to Curtis Blow when he was on stage was I had about 20 or 30 wannabe DJs that seen it on TV, or they seen it or heard about it, and they rushed the stage to see DJ AJ Scratch.
Oh, wow.
Scratch the records. They never seen anybody scratch the records. And they all gathered around the stage to see it. So, you know, after that, year after year, it grew a little more rap, a little more clubs, more raps, because the only place you could hear rap was in the clubs. That was it. That was it. And for about 3 or 4 years, was just the clubs. And the clubs, I made sure that I told the people that were dancing on the floor, here's the radio station's phone number. Call their ass. Call them, you want to hear this song. I go to the radio station to make the commercials for the club on Monday, and they stop me in the hallway. Man, what's the name of that song you were playing this weekend? People blowing up our phones. We can't keep the people off our phones. Play the record. I'd give them a copy of the record, knew damn well they weren't going to play the record. Knew they weren't going to play it. But there was tricks we did to make sure rap got played on the radios. And then, anyway.
Now, one of the first DJs to actually actively play rap radio on a record would have been Mr. Darryl Scott over at KTSU. What was it like for you to introduce hip-hop through a university college radio station, because all the major stations in Houston weren't playing hip-hop at all?
I don't know about that one.
It was all just fun in the beginning, and it wasn't really looking for it to transpire and go any farther than that. But once the mixtapes is where it actually all started. I go back a little bit farther than Steve, with Fatback King Tim III being the first rap. And this was at a time I was recording music on 8-track tapes. Okay, that's how far back I go with the rap scene. Matter of fact, even before that, before Sugar Hill Gang came out, a little farther back than that, Walter D and I was rapping off of Freedom, Get Up and Dance, The Break. That's what we would do. A little corny rap, but it was, you know, it just came across and it resonated. Went from that point to working at the skating rink on the north side. Lil James can attest to this. Super Skate is where we would do that rap. Lil James' brother, Thelton, Sir Rap-A-Lot. Sir Rap-A-Lot wanted to get on the microphone as well and do what we was doing. Now, this boy, oh man, he brought it. He brought it. It was like, whoa, bro, we got to up our game a little bit here. Then it went a little bit farther than that. That's when finally, when Sugar Hill Gang came out, I'll never forget this. Everybody bum rushed me, Walter, and Thelma said, y'all came out with a record. Y'all came out with a record. It's like, no, this is not us. This is something, but that was the first time. So it just, you know, it's like I said, it just escalated from that point and ended up being called by Stacy Porter and KTSU saying, hey man, we need to get what you're doing because we come out to the clubs, but we want to get this, what you're doing, on the air. And that's where it really all started.
Wow. Nice. We talk about a lot of firsts. You know, Captain Jack, you know, they've said plenty of times, you know, as far as releasing the first rap record in Houston. Can you talk a little bit about that, the inspiration about that? How was the impact you remember, you know, coming out as the first, you know, known rapper in Houston, you know?
He's the first man with the mic.
You good right now?
Many mics I done dropped. Anyway, just want to, first of all, I want to give thanks to God.
Yeah, come on.
Because as everybody knows, we have lost a lot of people that we all in here personally know from the hip hop. In Houston, we've lost a lot of people from the Screwed Up Clique and others. Pimp C, my main man. Last time I saw him, he was at my birthday party.
Wow.
And then he flew out to California. And when I heard about it, man, I said, oh my God. But that was my boy. Bun B's always been my boy, but me and Pimp communicated more. Bun used to be quiet. He talks now. Yeah, he talks now. He used to come to the club and they do sound check and Bun would jump up on stage and turn flips and stuff. All kind of stuff. But anyway, getting back to the business. I got my start in 1977. In 1978, I was at the Big Apple, New York. 5411 Griggs Road.
Yes.
And from that spot there, of course, the Screaming Eagle. And then, you know, as time went on, kind of like Darryl now, I used to put on records, instrumental records, while I was at the Big Apple, and I would rap on them. People would walk into the club, and I'd start rapping about them as soon as they walk in, and make up a rhyme about whoever it was that I knew that walked in. I started making up rhymes about them. So I always knew how to rap because when I was staying in Louisiana, where I'm from, my mom used to walk through the house making things rhyme. She could rhyme like I don't know what. And you know, and she was a church woman. So, but anyway, I'm gonna fast forward all the way to Rap A Lot. I had made a record in '84 called Jack It Up. And that record did real good. Before I did the Jack It Up, 2 years in a row, we never got to record it and put it on the tape, but we just was doing it at the radio station. If anybody remember the Fire Slammer Jammer.
Fire Slammer Jammer.
And every week, Bun, we would go to the radio station and change up the lyrics every time that Clyde and Akeem would win another game.
Wow.
And we'd be talking about Louisville, how they beat them, and then how we dunked on North Carolina, or how we beat Kentucky. And so I would change it up every week. And every 15 minutes at Love 94, they would play that record every 15 minutes. I said, man, it just went off. But everybody was so hyped on the basketball team until they were just blowing that thing up. You know, never got no royalties off it, but it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. So moving on, after that, I did the record Jack It Up. Flew to Memphis. Charles Bush flew me to Memphis, and me and John Williams, Mickey Blue, from Mickey Soul Food. Mickey Blue, my man. So me and Mickey Blue, we flew to Tennessee, and we recorded Jack It Up. Now I'll tell you how that came about. I don't know how old we go back in here, but anyway, back in the day, there was a group out of Houston, R&B group, had a song called Tighten Up.
Yep.
Archie Bell and the Drills.
That's right. Archie from Port Arthur.
So Charles Bush walked in the Big Apple one night, Steve, and I was on the mic rapping and rhyming with the instrumental, and boy, he stood back and he watched me say, he went back, he called his secretary, he said, call Captain Jack, tell him to come to the office. I come to the office, he said, Captain Jack, you remember that record by Archie Bell and the Drills, Tighten Up? I said, yeah. Man, your ass is, I want you to do Jack It Up. You do Jack It Up. I said, Jack It Up? He said, yeah. I can't write it, but I got the title. I said, okay. And that's how Jack It Up came about. And then that was in '84. In 1986, Mickey called me again and said, man, I want you to meet Jay Prince. Me and Jay, I'll never forget, we met on Gessner in the parking lot of Oasis.
Wow.
In the daytime.
Wow. Wow.
In the daytime, I met Jay in the parking lot. And he introduced me to Jay, and we talked. And he was telling me all about Captain Jack, and Jay said, man, why don't you come on by the studio and let's do a little something. So we went in and we got together, and Jay flew me all the way to California. I went to California and we recorded some records, and we came out with Sexy Girls. At the same time, it was the birth of the Ghetto Boys. But it was a different set of Ghetto Boys. You know, Ready Red and Box. And they had a song called Car Freaks.
That's it.
They was trying to get some airplay. But like you said, you know, getting music played on the radio was a beast. But when I put my record together, and me and Jay, I told Jay, I say, I'm gonna get Sexy Girls played. You ain't got to worry about it. And the same day that I took the record to the Magic 102, Ron Atkins was the program director. And I took it in there and I let him hear it. He liked it. And before I could get home, that record was on the radio the same day. I called little Jay up. I said, Jay, turn your radio on. Jay turned the radio on. He heard Sexy. Captain Jack, you did that.
In his voice.
Yeah, oh yeah. He said, you did that. And I told him, I said, well, I'm gonna get Car Freaks played. And I got Car Freaks played. And next thing you know, man, Rap-A-Lot took off. And then once he came along with the Ghetto Boys, it was game over. And the rest of it's history, y'all. I got a lot more to tell, but we don't have enough time.
Yeah, no, we could definitely don't have enough time.
By the way, Charles Bush told me to tell everyone hello. I spoke to him the day before yesterday.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I wish we could have Charles here as well. I want to talk to some of the MCs on the stage about, you know, what was it that drew you guys, and we're going to save the lady for last, of course. I want to know what it was that drove you guys to want to be a part of hip-hop culture. Will, I'll start with you. What was it that made you want to rap? Was it closer to what Jay was talking about? It looked like a nice little hustle to make some money, or you wanted to actually be like a rapper in the game?
I wanted some money.
Straight out the back.
I wanted some money. Initially, it was really just a challenge. A friend of mine named Steve Mayweather from the 5th Ward. We was in the hood down the street at Kennedy Place, and he challenged me to write some hip hop, to write a song after we was listening to Run DMC. And I listened to him, I listened to the cadence or whatever, and I was like, I think I can do that. So he went in his house, I went in my house, we both came out in an hour. He said his rap, everybody started laughing, I said mine, they started raising their eyebrows, and I knew I had something. But before I go any further, I want to thank and salute you and Donnie Houston for doing this, putting this on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
There's been a number of these type of tributes, and I've turned all of it down, after the Grammys.
No, don't be messy, Will. Will came in here messy.
But I turned it down. But I couldn't turn this down. I couldn't turn down the opportunity to be in the same company with the pioneers, the people that really helped shape and mold hip hop, the culture, into what it is today. Just looking around and seeing so many familiar faces, it really does my heart well, So I appreciate that. I appreciate that you guys thought enough of me to include me in this. And thank you for your perseverance, because initially I said no, and then y'all hit me from every angle. You hit me with Red Boy, you hit me with Latoya, and but I'm thankful to be here in the company of all of these giants of hip hop.
Right.
Without you guys, ain't none of this possible. I know some of us ascended to higher ranks in the game, but it's got to start somewhere, and it did start with a lot of you guys in here who are unsung heroes. If I start calling names, I'm going to miss somebody. I'm going to miss somebody, but I'm telling you, bro, I really do appreciate it. But for me, it started with just a simple challenge.
Big Swift.
And I did it well, and I started competing in talent shows. And then, I had the first rap that I wrote, it was like 8 bars. And for about maybe 2 or 3 months, I rapped those same 8 bars. I would battle people with those same 8 bars. And every time I get to the end, I'd be like, man, I ain't gonna even worry about you no more, man. You ain't got nothing for me, But I only stopped because I ain't had nothing else to do. I ain't had no other rhymes. So I just stopped, and eventually I wrote another 8 bars, and then I wrote another verse, and then another verse, so that people wouldn't catch on to what I was doing.
Is this at the Rhinestone when you were doing this with the 8-bar thing? Can you talk a little bit about that? Because I know you were a part of that.
Well, okay, I wanna say this. The song Ballhead Hoes. This guy that's right in front of me, he's partially responsible for that. Because when I came up with the idea to write it, women had just started wearing hair pieces, like what they had already been doing, but it started becoming more obvious, right? And it was just a few women. I would say about, you go in the club, maybe, 5% of women was wearing these hair pieces and stuff. And so I had this idea to write this song, and it was to deter women from wearing it. I thought that I was going to start a revolution. And I thought the women was going to hear it and be like, ooh, they was going to be so embarrassed that they wouldn't wear the weave and stuff, right? But it was like I put the fuel on the fire. But before all of that happened, I went to Steve, and I said, Steve, I'm thinking about writing this song called Ballhead Hoes. What you thinking? He just bust out laughing. He was like, yeah, write that shit, do that shit. And then I went to R.P. Cola, and I said the same thing to R.P. Cola, and he started laughing. He was like, yeah, do it. And I went to them because they was the host of the Rhinestone Wrangler, which was the biggest and the baddest hip-hop club to ever exist in H-Town, and probably in the world. The Rhinestone Wrangler was the shit, right? And they were the host, and I had a lot of respect for them. And they used to host the battles, the rap battles. So I went to them, and I figured like if they would like it, then I'll go ahead and write it. So I went ahead and wrote the song, and I came back the following week, and I performed it, shut it down. And after that, people were like talking about me like I was like a real rapper, like I had put a rap album out, like I was getting money. Right. And I would be seen and I would go into the mall and stuff, they asked for autographs and pictures and stuff, but I wasn't getting any money. Fast forward, I signed with Rap-A-Lot, and we're in the studio making my first album, Controversy, and Jay is like, yo, what about bald head hoes? And I say, nah, I don't want to do that. I don't want that on my album. I don't want nobody thinking of me like I'm a comedian or something. I ain't nothing funny about me. I'm finna come with the heat. And Jay was like, nah. This is Jay. Damn, Will. Man, that's the coldest song you got. So I'm like, man, I don't want to put that out there. So we did like we normally do. We took a poll. And, you know, I said, well, wait a minute, let me get my boys in here. So, because at first it was just everybody from Rap a Lot, just Rap a Lot, J people, right? I said, let me call my homies. So I called some of my homies over to the studio. So we got like 20-something people in the studio, and we take the vote. Say, all right, everybody who think the bald head hoes should be on the album, raise your hand.
Straight up in there.
Every damn body raised their hand except me.
Even the people you brought.
Even the people I brought. And I said, fuck it then. And that's how bald head hoes became a thing.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
K-Rino, the holder of the Black Book.
Ooh.
One of the fiercest MCs ever, period. What drew you to hip hop, my brother?
My story is similar to Will, you know, just hearing it and want to do it and battle rapping. Everybody said for about 3 or 4 minutes, so just give me 3. Because I'm going to sum mine up a little different.
Go for it.
Houston is G'd up from the start. Everybody hanging out Sunday at McGregor Park. Houston is 3rd Ward to the SWAT. 14 and a half mixtape by Darryl Scott. Houston is keeping bread in your pocket. Riding with the home team, Astros, Oilers, and Rockets. Home of the soldiers, so it ain't no folding. Legendary 34s, Akeem, Earl, and Nolan. Jumping out at the club sharp as an arrow. Rhinestone Wrangler, Chocolate Town, and Carol's. Coke cans to get in Astro World, no ticket. And you ain't from H-Town if you don't know Wicked Cricket. Ooh. I'm paying homage because it's only right for me to do. French's chicken on Scott, we do it for TSU. From the past to the present, shouting out to the great. Still love Five Slammer Jammer, repping U of H. Who remember Club Boomerang? Now I'm reminiscing. Killing shows with the whole South Park coalition. Jay Prince had the vision, so he started believing. Ghetto boys made the whole world respect our region. Most city to 5th Ward, yeah, I know you loving this. Street military, please, can I have another hit? Got our own style, ain't no place like it in the world. And the whole planet got screwed up by Robert Earl. Crazy weather, but still better than any place we know. Shout out to my Mexican family, my Latinos. We the trendsetters, we stay ahead of the game. Haim Clark got way too many legends to name. Most of the year, H-Town be hotter than the oven. Remember the screw shop back when it was on Cullen? Great tapes in a screwed up click wrecking them beats. Kids Jam was the first radio station for the streets. You could pick any record label, it's all H-Town. Rap a Lot, Swisher House, Big Time and Jam Down, Dope House, Sucker Free, the homies at Rec Shop, Perion, Suave House, Straight Profit, and Shortstop. Hey, Houston is Greens Point to Acres home. Playing high school football games inside the dome. Slabs with trunks rattling, folks chasing the paper. Club Gucci's all the way to Jamaica, Jamaica. Going to different parks, hooping Timmy Chan after. Back in the days, loading up and riding to the Kappa. Still laughing and ranking even on our down days. Buying your favorite rapper's new album from Sound Waves. Catching the metro to travel throughout the town. We couldn't afford the Galleria, we just went to walk around. When the bus stopped rolling that dark, we used to walk. Let's take it to the north, Studewood and Dewson Park. Mr. A's, the Shuns, Cornbreads came later. Every rapper trying to be seen on Street Flavor. Every hood apartment complex I showed up in. Houston taught me the game when I didn't know nothing. That's what Houston is to me, man. Straight up.
Hey, Reno.
Legendary K-Rino.
Y'all gonna hear a lot about a lot of Houston rappers over these next hours that we talk in this room, but make no mistake about it, there's never been pound for pound, bar for bar, verse for verse, a better MC from this city than the man you just heard from. I couldn't think of a more succinct way to wrap up Houston, Texas in a rhyme. And Face, you got to come after that.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
But if anybody could do it,
This is what I want to ask you, Face, because we all know you as Mr. Scarface, but when you initially came into this game, you had a different name. Can you speak to where the origins of DJ Action came from? Because I've known you for about 30 years and I've never seen you DJ. That don't mean you can't. That don't mean you can't, because you do a lot of shit I didn't know you could do. But tell me where the name came from, Face.
So I'll start from close to the beginning as I can. Me and Will Ross went to junior high school together. And that's Def Jam Blaster. We went to junior high school together. So Will was a DJ, and I was a DJ too. And we used to always DJ. And then, I was rapping too. Darryl Scott was probably the biggest influence when it came to DJing to me, because you hear everybody talking about chopping it. Darryl Scott chopped it first. No, Screw. Now let's get it straight now. Why we saying Screw? If Screw didn't do it, it's not Screwed. Let's be real clear. Let's be clear. If Screw didn't do it, it's not Screwed. It can be K-Rino, it can be Willie D, but it can't be Screwed, because Screw didn't do it. Let's be clear. Now, Darryl Scott chopped it and he slowed it down.
Say that.
Ain't it funky now? Remember that? I don't know if y'all really know about Darryl Scott mixtapes, but if you was from, you knew about Darryl Scott and Blast Records. So I was a DJ first, bud. And I'm probably still better than 98% of the DJs that DJ now.
Come on now, boy.
To this day.
Come on.
He said that
To this day, right now.
to you, Mr. Ross. He says this too.
I'm saying that to my DJ too. What Damo?
Domination, DJ Domination.
Yes, sir.
Face can hold his own. He can hold his own.
So now you being messy like Will.
Listen, man. I crash Watts. I crash Def Jam Blaster. DJ Aggravated don't want none. Damo don't want none. Who else DJ in here? You don't want none. Who else? You don't want none.
Watts in the front row.
Y'all don't want none. I'm telling you. I'm still a better DJ and producer than I am rapper. Okay? Let's be real clear. Yeah. Oh, YouTube, I see how you can get some too. You can get some too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Don't get hot started.
Whatever you do.
Another burger.
Whatever you do.
Respect.
Don't get Icy Hot started.
Let me get you a burger hot.
Here go a good one right here. Me and Icy High was beatboxing in junior high and high school. Icy High, we went to the Reds together. Yeah. We ain't slept on you, Icy, but I'm telling you, man, when it came to the mixes and cuts, man, I bust you up. I bust you up.
We'll do it tomorrow, hot. Don't worry.
Let's not forget about Chill now. Let's not forget about Chill.
All right, so
Chill is the man too.
DJ Chill in the house,
yeah,
y'all.
so
Make some noise.
DJ Chill. Well, yeah. So me and Will Ross was making. Well, Mixmaster B was making the beats, right? But we was finding.
I was making some of them. He made some.
Oh, you know what? You had a 707 first, didn't you?
Yeah, we had
okay,
the
so Will was making the beats. I was rapping, and I used to catch the 33 Post Oak to Sharpstown Mall, and I ran into a cat by the name of Beto.
Yes, sir.
They had a little studio in the back of Sharpstown Mall that it had like a 2-track. So I would beatbox in the beat,
and I would freestyle on the on the other track. So Beto heard it, and the funny thing about Beto had a tape case. He called it his briefcase, but it was tapes and papers and contracts and shit or whatever. And got a chance to meet with Beto, met up with Beto, and we started doing music, and we was hustling at the same time. Now, hustling, we ran into a cat named Troy at Shortstop Records. And Troy's brother Mike was my partner. Beto and Troy was partners. Me and Mike was partners. And I was rapping, man, in some kind of way, Beto and Mike convinced Troy to put me in the studio. And ain't that how it went, Will? Well, you was there, shit.
Yeah, that's how it went. We had big sessions. We just booked the whole day over at Ultimate Sound with Big Richard.
With Big Richard. Rest in peace, Big Rich. Man,
we just went in there. Me, you, and 3-2 just went in there.
Man, I'm so glad you're here to bring up Big Richard. Man. So, we made a record off of the Paid in Full beat, man, and I was writing the rap, man, and the rap was talking about hustling. And it was like we was loving that shit because that was our life. And Chris Barrier, 3-2, made a record. I don't remember, what was the name of that record?
In that same session, we did a song called "Look at Me Now."
That was it. The blah, 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 blah.
That was called "Violence."
Violence, okay.
Yeah, I did that beat before Dre did it.
Before Dre did it for the doc,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so 3-2 had commercial rap. My rap was, underground is what they called it back then. It was underground. Yeah. And Troy wanted to go with the radio record because he wanted to get it played on the radio. He knew they weren't gonna play all that cussing that I was doing. And I felt slighted, I was like, damn. In some kind of way, I met Steve Fournier. Steve's always tied into this shit some kind of way. I met Steve Fournier in the parking lot of a nightclub. And I played in that tape I had of the song called Scarface. In some kind of way, Steve let Jay hear that song in another parking lot.
Everything happened in the parking lot.
Everything with Jay happens in the parking lot. Right. Trust me.
It was the same parking lot.
Was it the same parking lot at the same time?
Walked up right in the back.
Oh, so James was hiding. We thought Bushwick was Lil J. That was an enigma. We didn't know who Jay was. He was like, damn, because we was from the South Side, right? But Jay was in the listening. He heard the song Scarface, and we had left or whatever. And a few days later, man, there was a white Benz with a black top and a little short dude that hopped out that looked like Nigarachi.
Yes, sir.
And from there, the rest was history. But Bun, let me say this. Willie and Jay got into it for the money. I got into it because I wanted to be the best.
Yes, sir. You did that.
I wanted to be the best. I spent a lot of time with a lot of MCs, and I took and grabbed pieces from Willie and Reno and Hot and Flea and whoever else is in here. I grabbed some shit from the Fifth Ward boys, but I wanted to make sure that everybody in this world knew that Brad was cold as fuck with that pen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
They know.
Yes, sir.
Not only can I rap that shit, but I can write that I can play it, I can make the beats for it. People say I'm cheating.
You walk up the block too.
I ain't walked up the block no more. I don't do that. Jay would always come to the studio with concepts and ideas of different topics to
expound
to write about. He couldn't rap at all, but he had plenty game, man, and he bounced that game off of us, and we put that game in the words, and we put that game on wax, and we sold a bunch of records.
Idealist.
Yeah.
Hey, since you ain't getting it for the money, can I have them the royalty checks that's coming in?
Just had to go.
Yeah, I want some money, man. I need that money, man.
Now, in the midst
The
of
money came eventually.
I know, but can I have it? I mean, you don't want
Sure,
it.
Willie, you can have it. Willie, you can have it.
Okay, cool.
You can have it.
Y'all heard him? No.
Circuit breaker.
Now, in the midst of all of this happening, everybody in Houston is falling in love with hip-hop and falling in love with the culture. And up until now, we've only heard the male perspective, but eventually, women in Houston wanted to be a part of this culture. Choice, what was it like for you, being a woman in Houston, seeing hip-hop happening and wanting to be a part of it?
Hey, everybody. First of all, I want to say thank y'all for inviting me. I really appreciate it. I did not get into rap because I was trying to be a rapper. So I got into rap because of a bet with my best friend. Steve Fournier.
Every story begins with
Steve
Steve.
Fournier was at, I think, it might have been Struts or Flashers. I can't remember the club now.
Bone Shakers.
No, it wasn't Bone Shakers. And so they were having a rap contest. And it was a girl, her name was, I think, Cinderella. And so she was rapping, and every week she was slaughtering them. So one of my friends, we were at the club, and she say, "Bitch, I bet you $100 you won't get in the contest next week." I said, "What?" She said, "Bitch, I bet you $100 you would not get in that contest next week." I said, "Bet that." So for a week, I wrote a rhyme. I said, "Oh, what have I got myself into? I don't know how to rap. So I said, well, I was gonna get real cute. That way when they booed me, maybe they'd be like, well, damn, she fine, she cute, you know.
Mad crush on you too.
So she went first. And so Steve was like, do we have anybody else? And I was like, so I got up there and I did my thing. I said whatever I said. And so he said, okay, raise your hand. This one, yeah. Then when they raised my hand, yeah! I was like, what the fuck? And I won. So I was like, wait a minute, I wasn't supposed to win because I don't have like a part 2 to this shit. I just have like a part 1, right? So I won, right? So I told my friend, bitch, where's my $100? Where's my goddamn $100? So it just so happened that somebody from Rap-A-Lot was in a club. So it got out in the streets that, hey man, Kim can rap. I went to LA. I came back a couple of weeks later. Everywhere I went, somebody say, Lil J looking for you. I was like, oh, what the fuck did I do? Lil J looking for you, Lil J looking. I was like, looking for me for what? For what? Same club, same bad time, same back channel. I see Jay, him and his crew. I was like, hey Jay, did you need me? He was like, no. I was like, are you sure? He was like, no. I was like, oh, okay. Whew. I get ready to leave. Somebody say, Jay, you did want to holler at her about the rap. He's like, oh, yeah, go get her. Same parking lot. He's like, hey, I'm getting ready to do something, and I want to put you on the map. I'm getting ready to start a record company. I was like, but I don't rap. He said, no, that ain't what I heard. I say, but Jay, I don't rap. He said, no, that ain't what I heard. Let me be the judge of that. So they gave me some material. I went over it. Now, at the same time, or around that same time, Willie had a female that had been working with them that was actually, in my opinion, better than me, great voice. They called us in. She went, I went, she went, I went, she went, I went. I was like, hey man, I gotta go to work, I got a job. One more time. She went out. So after it was over with, he said, look, I got to go with the best person. This is strictly about business. Both y'all were great. So I go to tell the girl, I said, oh, congratulations. He's like, we gonna go with you. I was like, what the fuck? I don't rap. So when people would ask me about how are you, how did you get started? How do you shop a deal? I didn't know because I never had to do that. Now, Jay did ask me, he said, what's gonna be your name? I was like, I think I got a name. He said, what's the name? I said, just kind of like a little pet name somebody used to call me. He's like, what's that? I said, well, I had this boyfriend who used to tell me, God damn, you got some choice. And so I just said, okay, I'll go with choice, and I just knocked off the rest of the sentence, right? So that's how I got the name.
Y'all give it up for choice, man. Let me say this too about choice. Let me say this too. A lot of women out here, they talking that shit, they talking that raunchy shit, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people credit like Lil' Kim and all them for being the first women. But I would say Choice was the first woman to really get up the mic.
Absolutely. Yes, she was the first. She was the first. Yes, absolutely.
But you know what? I think a lot of people don't know this part of the story. By us being located here in the South, you had LA music, New York music. But a lot of what we created here, Ghetto Boys, me, it started here. And if people don't get the shit right, then they're gonna always think, oh, it started with NWA. No, it didn't. It started with the Ghetto Boys first. It started with them first. Oh, it started with Lil' Kim. No, it didn't. It started with me first. Even with Jay, he asked me, he said, what are you gonna wear? I said, what you mean what I'm gonna wear? Some high pants, some high heel shoes. He said, you gonna rap in high heel shoes? I said, well, I damn sure ain't rapping in no goddamn tennis shoes. So it's things like that now that I see people like Nicki Minaj or Cardi B or whoever. If you go in reverse and look, no females, not Salt and Pepper, not whoever, they did not have that type of look. But what happened when you're the first of something, a lot of times people don't know what to do with you.
Facts.
They don't know what to do with you. And so instead of them having some nuts and courage and saying, you know what, I think they got something here, let's go ahead and go with it, they don't do it. They have to wait to make sure somebody else gets the money. And then they're like, oh, that's why you see so many females now. So many females now. So it was much harder with me back then because of how it was for all of rap. First of all, they didn't like underground rap. They didn't want to hear any guys cussing and all of that, let alone a female. So I always remind anybody, anywhere I go, that you cannot steal from us. Texas, motherfuckers. That's where I stay.
That's where I stay.
Right.
That's a good way to wrap this up, right?
I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, you are looking at the foundation of Houston hip hop right here. In living color. Right, I'm so glad that we got to hear this directly from y'all and we didn't have to get it from a book or a magazine or third hand. Go ahead.
One more parking lot story. Rap-A-Lot's first album, The Ghetto Boys, came through my ears first in the parking lot at McGregor Park. Go ahead.
Jay Prince is the parking lot man.
We got to find this parking lot and make it a historic marker or something, man.
I want to definitely shout out to people like DJ Lonnie Mac, rest in peace, DJ Wiz, people like Chill in the crowd. There was a lot of people working in those early days. Walter D. Aggravated.
No, and we can't miss Rodney either. Rodney.
Yes, that's a great
Jazzy Red.
Harvey Love.
And rest in peace to Wicked Cricket, for sure.
Jazzy Red.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our 80s panel. Give it up for Houston hip hop history.
Yeah. One more nugget, Bun B.
Yes.
One more nugget. Icy Hot did the beatbox on Bald Head Hoes.
Come on. That's why you put some respect on his name.
That's a mystery.
That's drum beat though. That was my beatbox beat.
Okay.
But I ain't no asking no money though.
Jazzy Red in the house too.
Yeah, shout out to Red, the OG.
Sir.
Thank y'all so much.
Some of y'all gonna stick around for the 90s though, right?
Yes, sir.
Right, okay. All right, cool.
As we wrap this portion up, I'm going to play a lot of the songs that everybody talked about. I did some of the Captain Jack, but I'm going to hit some of all of this stuff. I'm going to start off with my man K-Rino. While we get ready for the next...
That boy killed it already.
While we get ready for the next panel.
Subscribe to the Donnie Houston podcast, man.